Hello Bobcats and welcome to another episode of The Sage. I'm Sophia Parks.
And I'm Julia Araujo. We've got a lot planned for you guys today, so let's get started. Going to Sage Creek, we consider ourselves a small school, at least in comparison to Carlsbad. But with us having over 1,300 students, we are well above the average high school size in America.
The question today is there a difference in education between large and small schools? Sierra, Jorden, and Harper Hughes have the story.
There's an ongoing battle between smaller schools being more effective than larger schools. We interviewed several students and teachers to get their opinions. Let's get right into it.
The New York Education Department conducted a study that showed that the small high schools created in the shells of old large high schools have average graduation rates of 75%, which is far greater than the larger ones. One reason for this could be the easier access to one-on-one learning.
Because being in a smaller school, you get to know your students better, so you're able to make more individualized instruction for the students. It's more geared towards what the students need, like what each students need.
Rachel Koval, a current junior and a transfer student from a larger school, spotlights the individual time students in a smaller school get with teachers.
Teachers teach more one-on-one, and there's more opportunities to just talk individually with your teacher.
Bank Street College of Education conducted a survey closely looking at 150 small schools in Chicago with enrollments between 200 to 400 students, far below the national average of 741. Students, parents, teachers, and community volunteers reported greater satisfaction because they felt more connected to one another.
I think being at a smaller school has really helped to build relationships, and I think that we really have gotten to know our students.
On the contrary, a large school gives students more potential for a greater social life.
If a student is at a giant school, they have a lot of options of making so many different friends and being in different groups and kind of having a more broad experience.
But students at a larger school are given less opportunity for participation in extracurricular activities.
You'll have twice as many kids theoretically trying out for every activity, whether it be band, the school play, an athletic team. You're going to have that many more people competing against you, so your chances of participating dwindle.
I really think it's based off of personality and like what they're looking for.
Going to any school has its advantages and disadvantages, but that's for you to truly decide where you belong. This has been Sierra, Jorden, and Harper Hughes reporting for The Sage.
It's crazy to see how our schools run in comparison to other sized schools in the country.
Like how our school has trimesters, which most high schools don't, but it makes the year go by a lot faster.
This school year is coming to a close a lot quicker than I expected. It seems like it has just flown by.
I know, and both of us being seniors, it's sometimes hard to keep pushing through as we are so close to the end.
Maddie, DeVilbiss, and I actually looked a little closer into what is happening with the senior work ethic.
Hey Bobcats, it's Maddie DeVilbiss
and Sophia Parks from the SCDC,
Sage Center for Disease Control,
reporting a recent outbreak plaguing our senior class.
This is not a laughing matter. The annual epidemic, senioritis, seems to have fallen upon us a little early this year.
Thankfully, only one case has been diagnosed. The senior is in quarantine with extremely contagious symptoms.
Here's a day in the life with a student tormented by the demons of senioritis.
My name is Ethan Stark. I'm a senior at Sage Creek, and some people say I have senioritis, I guess. I don't know.
Do you think you have senioritis?
I mean, not really, but I really do just want to get out of here.
What's your favorite subject at Sage?
Probably lunch or off-roll or something. Something where I get to go home or eat and not be at school, I guess.
What's your least favorite subject?
Probably first period, because I'm never awake to go to first period. I'm always late and never listening and falling asleep.
And what are you looking forward to in your senior year?
Graduation. Everything else I don't really care about. I just want to graduate.
The outbreak has seemed to spread among the academic buildings, with senioritis centralized in the 1000s building. Here is a heat map to show the most susceptible areas on campus. Stay safe, seniors.
That was pretty accurate. Since senior year started, my motivation to come to school is gone.
We just gotta pull through. There's less than 3 months left.
Speaking of seniors, let's kick it over to senior Stephan Ellington with sports.
You like to play your own game. Cover it up, don't let them know what you're thinking. I bet you never Hey Bobcats, Stephan Ellington here with sports and announcements. Starting out with baseball, boys varsity won against Mission Hills last week, winning 3-0. Baseball also took the lead against Del Norte with a score of 5-3. Make sure to come out and support the team next Tuesday for their first league match against RBV. Volleyball was also victorious last week, beating Point Loma 3-0. They placed 3rd overall in their tournament last weekend as well. Volleyball will have a home match this Friday against LCC. Tennis shut down the competition, winning 15-3 against Fallbrook High. They have 2 upcoming matches at home today, against RBV and tomorrow against El Camino. Both boys and girls lacrosse had tough losses, with boys losing to Pacific Ridge and girls to Murrieta. Boys lacrosse was able to come back, however, winning their game against Hoover High School. Boys lacrosse will be away this Friday against Lincoln, and the girls will be playing at home tomorrow against Mission Hills. Beach volleyball won last Thursday against Our Lady of Peace and plays Valhalla tomorrow at Warm Waters. Golf won against Vista and will face off against RBV tomorrow. Here is Madison Gerlitz with the team on their recent placing.
Hey Bobcats, I'm here with boys golf team captains Jacob and Vedant to touch on a recent achievement they've just received. So Vedant, I understand you guys are ranked 5th in the county. Can you touch about how the team got there and what the weeks leading up to that kind of looked like for you guys?
Yeah, so far we've played 6 matches and a couple tournaments. We're 5-1 on the season, and our quality win is against LCC away, which was pretty awesome. And we're looking really good right now as a team.
Cool, and it sounds like you guys stay pretty busy throughout the week with golf. Jacob, how do you manage the academic stress on top of going to competitions and practices every day?
Well, yeah, there's definitely a bunch of long nights because golf is a very time-consuming sport, but sometimes after matches when we go out and eat as a team, we just do work there.
Cool. Well, massive congratulations to the boys golf team here at SCHS. Bobcats, don't forget to go support your spring season teams this year. And this has been Madison Gerlitz and Maddie DeVilbiss reporting for The Sage. Let's send it back to Steve with sports.
Thanks, Madison. Track and field had some highlights last week, with Maya Grudman setting a new Sage Creek pole vaulting record at a height of 11 feet 7 inches. Skylar Wallace also broke her own personal record last week, finishing 1st in the 2-mile. With a time of 10 minutes, 45 seconds. For announcements, auditions for Sage Creek Dance Department are right around the corner. Auditions will be held after school in room 5001 on April 16th and 18th. Seniors, today there will be an informational meeting in room 2304 about graduation speeches. That's all we have for this week, Bobcats. This has been Steve Ellington, sending it back to the anchors.
There are so many sports this spring season. I can't wait to see what they all accomplish.
And as for other news, as many of you might have heard, Mr. Morales announced that Mr. Schuveiller will be the principal starting with the 2019-2020 school year.
Let's send it to Zach Metzger and Julia Miller.
Just recently, on March 13th, it was announced that Mr. Schuveiller would be filling the role of the principal position in this upcoming 2019-2020 school year. We got Mr. Morales' opinion on the topic.
I can tell you, I'm excited that Mr. Schuveiller is going to be the principal here next year. He's got the capacity, he's got the heart, he's got the talent, and he's got the skill set to be very successful. So Mr. Schuveiller comes with extensive experience. Students may not know is that over the past 2 years, Mr. Schuveiller and I, over 2 different experiences, him and I completely switched roles. So not only does he have the experience as an administrator, but he's been in the seat of a high school principal, and I tell you what, he did phenomenal.
Next, we spoke with Mrs. Watson, Mr. Schuveiller's current assistant, and got her input on the upcoming change.
I am super excited to see Mr. Schuveiller take on the role of principal of Sage Creek. I'd just like to say to Mr. Schuveiller, congratulations, the Bobcat Nation are behind you.
Finally, we spoke with the man himself and got Mr. Schuveiller's perspective on his new position.
So, right, it's some nervousness, some anxiousness, some uncertainty, filled with excitement and joy, and you're going to see someone who shows up and works hard every single day, someone who cares greatly for this community. I'm so humbled and honored to be part of the Sage Creek family. I love it here. I'm excited for the role of principal. I'm confident that the best is still yet to come for Sage Creek.
Again, congratulations to Mr. Schuveiller, and I wish you the best of luck next year. This has been Zachary Metzger and Julia Miller reporting for The Sage.
Congrats, Mr. Schuveiller. I wish I was going to be here to see you as principal.
Speaking of Sage Creek's incredible staff, one of our teachers just returned after medical leave.
Staff reporter Summer Fitzgerald caught up with Miss Bachman to hear more about what she went through.
Nutcracker syndrome is a rare and life-threatening syndrome. One teacher at Sage Creek has been recently diagnosed, sent on emergency leave, and underwent multiple surgeries. So, Mrs. Bachman, how does it feel to be back?
It feels really nice to be back. It's really fun to be teaching again, kind of getting back in a routine, but it's also really tiring.
Understandable. Can you explain what Nutcracker syndrome is?
Yes. It's a disorder that occurs on only your left side of your body. So let's say that my fist is my kidney and that my finger is a vein that comes out of your kidney. So your kidney filters blood, releases all the waste, and then the good blood should be going back through your body. But it's called Nutcracker syndrome because you have two arteries that come down your body and they should be nice and open. Mine were squished really close like a nut in a nutcracker, so that's where it gets its name from, and it causes a lot of pain and a lot of issues with your blood flow in your body.
Oh, wow. And how has this affected your life?
Ooh, pretty much infiltrated every aspect of life. The main symptom was pain. I was in so much pain. I was trying to work through it last year and had to go on emergency leave because I just couldn't handle the pain. I was having trouble eating. I lost almost 20 pounds. I could barely walk. There was times in the spring and summer where I had to use either a walker or even a wheelchair. You know, I had to get help with everything in life. Like I couldn't drive for a while. I had to be on pain meds. I, had trouble even showering or getting dressed. Every little thing of daily life that most people take for granted was taken away from me, and I needed a lot of help from family and friends and colleagues.
And as a medical interventions teacher, how has your view of the course changed?
Well, now I have lots of examples to share, personal experiences. We had actually just gone over in MI all of the diagnostic images like X-rays and CT scans and things, and then wouldn't you know, a week later, I'm getting all of those scans. Even this year coming back, we were talking about blood work and fatigue with sickle cell disease, and I could share my own experiences of oh, I know what it's like to live with chronic fatigue and things like that. So I'm incorporating a lot of my own personal experiences, and I'm making connections of people to come into the classroom. For instance, next year, my physical therapist has agreed to come in and be a guest speaker.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Well, thank you for being with us today. And Bobcats, if you see Ms. Bachman on campus, make sure to welcome her back. Let's send it back to the anchors.
Thanks, Summer, and we're glad to have you back, Miss Bachman.
Well, Bobcats, that's all we have for you today. Make sure to cruise over to thesagenews.com for all other news stories.
And don't forget to follow us on your favorite social media platforms to stay up to date with everything Sage Creek.
Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sophia Parks
and Julia Araujo reporting for The Sage.